So we have had two very successful meetings earlier today with George Hamilton of the PSNI, and we've just met now with the Lord Chief Justice. In both meetings we have discussed in some detail the handling of legacy issues, the necessary infrastructure to deal with the past, and some of the issues arising from that. We've recorded, as we have with Karen Bradley and indeed with Prime Minister Theresa May, our absolute dismay that in respect of legacy inquests in particular, that families have been left for decades with no answers. We believe it's an affront in any open democratic system that monies would be withheld for the purposes of carrying out these inquests. The Chief Justice has been very proactive in these matters. He has a plan that is human rights compliant, that is workable, and now it needs to be resourced. We had been told in the course of these discussions with the British government on the legacy inquest that it was a matter for the departments here to make a decision on. We now discover that in fact the business cases have been gathered, that due diligence must be done, and then it will be a call for the government in London. So we want to reiterate again in the clearest possible language that the delays, the foot dragging, the equivocation, the indifference to these families must stop. The necessary resources must be made available. Families deserve, at a minimum, to know the case, the truth of what happened to their loved ones. And we would further urge that all public agencies and bodies engage with those processes in a full way, in a way that's not ambivalent or indeed hostile. I hope very clearly the fact that the resources identified as necessary by the Chief Justice to pursue the legacy inquest can be released, and should be released without further delay. In fact, should have been released quite some time ago. We are of course aware that the consultation process more broadly is underway. I would just remind people that in fact we had reached agreement with the DUP, with unionism, in terms of what that infrastructure would look like, and it is a case of getting that up and running. But now, for now, in the immediacy of the here and now, there is no excuse, there is no reason, there's no decent rationale for delaying the legacy inquests or withholding the funding for them.
Sinn Féin, Goananus, Carta agus Aontas na HÉireann, Equality, Rights and Irish Unity.